I would like to call this village board meeting of Thursday, May 18, 2023 to order. Will the clerk please take the roll?
President Coker? Trustee Schmidt?
Here.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Here.
Trustee Light?
Here.
Trustee Meritato?
Here.
Trustee Pojek?
Here.
Trustee Schroeder.
Please stand and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Community announcement. Trustee Schmidt, please.
The next coffee and chat with the village president and board is Saturday, June 3rd at the Center for Senior Citizens from 10 a.m. to noon. If you are unable to attend and have any comments, suggestions, or questions for the village president or village board, please call the village president's office anytime at 630-909-5302. The Glendale Heights Police Department is now hiring new police officers. Applications are due by Friday, June 2nd. Join a team of hardworking individuals who have dedicated their careers to protecting and serving the residents of Glendale Heights while staying true to community-oriented policing. Applications are available at Village Hall or can be downloaded from the village website at www.glendaloheights.org/HR. There is a mandatory orientation and written exam on Saturday, June 3rd at Marquardt Middle School. For more information, please visit www.glendaloheights.org or contact the Glendale Heights Police Commission at 630-909-5398. And I just want to add a thank you to the Glendale Heights Crossing Guards on National Crossing Guard Appreciation Day. Thank you for all you do keeping the kids safe. Thank you.
Is anybody coming in to speak?
No.
Okay. Trustee District 2.
On Monday, May 29th, Memorial Day at 11 a.m. at Veterans Memorial Park, we will honor the memory of the brave men and women who died while serving our country. The Glendale Heights VFW Post 2377 will conduct a fallen warrior ceremony, followed by a wreath-laying ceremony. This includes a flag and color guard presentation, rifle salute, and patriotic acknowledgements. If you would like to help by volunteering to help plant American flags on Thursday, May 25th at Veterans Memorial Park, please visit the village website at www.glendaleheights.org. Each village represents a fallen soldier from Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom Afghanistan. In observance of Memorial Day, village offices will be closed on Monday, May 29th. For more information, please call Jessica at 630-260-6060. Now through May, parking restrictions will be in effect from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. due to street sweeping. Color-coded no parking signs are posted in 4 different zones throughout the village. Street parking is not allowed on Monday for the red zone, Tuesday for the blue zone, Wednesday for the green zone, and Friday for the brown zone. To find out your zone, visit the village website. For any questions on the street sweeping program, please contact Public Works at 630-260-6040.
Trustee Light, please.
Glendale Heights Police Department is partnering with Hyundai to provide free steering wheel locks to the residents of Glendale Heights in response to the increased theft rate of certain Hyundai vehicles. Glendale Heights residents with valid vehicle stickers who own eligible Hyundai vehicles can pick up a free steering wheel lock from the Village of Glendale Heights Police Department. In order to receive a free steering wheel lock, you must provide a valid ID and registration for the following types of vehicles: a 2015 to 2021 Hyundai Accent, Elantra, Kona, Santa Fe, Sonata, Tucson, or a 2015 to 2018 Hyundai Veloster. For more information, please contact Tanya Macco at 630-909-5459. George, how many of these do we have left? Do you know?
We gave away about half of our boxes. I think each one of them has 10, 15 of them in there.
It's about halfway done.
Halfway done, yep.
Okay, just curious. Thank you.
You're welcome. Ms. Jess, please.
The Village of Glendale Heights is now hiring for a number of seasonal positions at the GH2O Aquatic Center, Public Works, and the Leisure Services Department. Positions include seasonal laborers, lifeguards, and many more. Gain valuable experience and make friends that will last a lifetime working for the Village of Glendale Heights. For more information, please visit www.glendaleights.org/HR or contact Human Resources at 630-909-5357. Village vehicle sticker renewal applications are scheduled to be mailed out Friday, May 19th. The new vehicle sticker must be displayed by 12:01 a.m. July 1st, 2023, on the lower right-hand corner of the windshield. Qualifying senior citizens receive one sticker per household at no charge. Village ordinance restricts overnight parking on village streets to those having a valid vehicle sticker. For more information regarding village vehicle stickers, call 630-260-6000 or visit www.glendaleights.org. Thank you.
Welcome. Trustee Pat.
Thank you. National Public Works Week is May 21st through the 27th. And the Village of Glendale Heights Public Works Department will be celebrating with a road show to local schools. They will be explaining what public works staff provide to the community and the equipment utilized to maintain village infrastructure. Thank you to the Public Works Department for all your hard work, and thank you for helping educate our youth. For more information, please contact the Public Works Department at 630-260-6040. Thank you.
You're welcome. Trustee Pojek, please.
The Village of Glendale Heights is partnering with the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning to develop a plan to make walking and biking safer and more comfortable. The village is interested in learning more about how you travel around the community and where you think there are challenges and opportunities for walking and biking. To share your thoughts, please visit the village website at www.glendaleights.org.
Trustee Schroeder, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Join the Village of Glendale Heights and the University of Chicago Medical Advent Health for a free medical clinic on Saturday, June the 3rd, from 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. Now, this clinic is free and open to the public to help those who cannot afford health care insurance. Families and children are welcome. Services include dental exams, diabetic, eye exams, tabs, lab screening, primary care, and much more. For more information or to pre-register, please visit www.glendaleights.org. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. Before we go on to proclamation, I would like to announce that the second Village Board and Committee of the Whole meeting in June has been changed from June 15, 2023 to June 20th, 2022. 22nd, 2023, because there will be no meeting in the month of July. Proclamation. We have the following proclamations. A proclamation to proclaim May as Mental Health Awareness Month. A proclamation to proclaim the week of May 21 to 27, 2023 as Emergency Medical Services Week. A proclamation to proclaim the week of May 21 to 27, 2023 as National Public Works Week. If there are no objections, I will sign these proclamations. Any objection from these honorable trustees?
Nope, not at all.
Okay, thank you very much. I was expecting, someone would talk. We go on to public discussion of agenda items. Is there anyone in the public that would like to address this board? Yes, ma'am. Please state your name and your address.
Cheryl Franz Swanson. I live at 115 Fullerton, Glendale Heights. First off, thanks to the Public Works, you deserve a week. And to Bev, who does outstanding crossing guard work. I'm asking the board to pull agenda item number 7. I would like to know who's involved of the Founder's Day Vendor Selection Committee.
So you want to move that to new business?
Yes, please.
I move it to new business?
Yes, please.
What's a request? I'm just clarifying, it's a request that need to be made by a board member.
Yes.
Yeah,
So if the
okay,
board member
I don't
wanted-
see a problem with it.
7 number, this one?
Yeah, right here, this is number 7.
Yeah. A resolution authorizing execution, non-liquor.
That'd be number 8?
No, number 7.
Yeah, but that'd be number 8 on new business?
No, that would be,
Number 9?
well, it depends, it's gonna be 8 or 9, depending on another removal.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So your request is regarding the non-liquor concession?
Correct.
Okay, just wanna make sure.
Anybody else? None?
No, ma'am.
No, not yet. Someone will make
No.
consent agenda.
So there was a request to move.
Request to
number
move
7.
number 9.
Bills.
9 to,
Schmidt.
number 9 to
Mayor.
trustee Schmidt.
I move that we move consent agenda item number 7
It's number
and
9,
number 9 to new business and waive first reading on both.
We'll do that once we get to that.
Second
Okay.
motion,
Okay.
Who's second, trustee Light?
Second.
Okay. So we don't,
You can just do a voice vote.
okay, roll call vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Peter, would
So,
that-
agenda item number 7 and under the consent will become number 8 under new. And number 9 under consent will become 9 under new business.
So it did not change number,
No, number 9 did not change number, but number 7 became number 8.
became number 8, okay.
Okay.
You have the consent agenda before you. Would acting village administrator Doug Flint please read the consent agenda?
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
1, approval of the regular board meeting minutes of May 4th, 2023. 2, approval of the committee of the whole meeting minutes of May 4th, 2023. 3, approval of the accounts payable listing of May 18th, 2023, the amount of $2,175,070.53. 4, a resolution to approve and authorize the execution of an agreement between the Village of Glendale Heights, Illinois, and Christopher B. Burke Engineering Limited for the furnishing professional design engineering services for the Westchester Drive and Cambridge Lane Water Main Replacement Project. 5, a resolution to approve and authorize the execution of an agreement between the Village of Glendale Heights, Illinois, and Christopher B. Burke Engineering for the furnishing of professional Phase 1 engineering services for the President Street Surface Transportation Program Street Resurfacing Project. 6, a resolution ratifying the execution of the proposal for the purchase of repair parts for one of the primary clarifiers at the wastewater treatment plant from the May 4th, 2023 COW. 7 has been moved to new business. 8, a resolution to approve and authorize the execution of the First Amendment to the agreement between Kai's Incorporated and the Village of Glendale Heights, Illinois, for the sale of alcoholic beverages at the 2023 Glendale Heights Fest. 9 has been moved to new business. 10, a resolution to approve and authorize the execution of an employer service agreement with Voya Retirement Insurance and Annuity Company for the Village of Glendale Heights Health Reimbursement Arrangement Plan. 11, a resolution to approve and authorize the execution of an agreement with Voya Financial Plan LLC and Voya Retirement Insurance and Annuity Company for the Village of Glendale Heights Retirement Plan Services Agreement, Plan Number 664735. 12, a resolution authorizing the execution of a change order number 2, final, for the 2022 sidewalk removal and replacement program in the Village of Glendale Heights, Illinois. 13, a motion to approve pay request number 2, final, to Schroeder and Schroeder Incorporated for the 2022 sidewalk removal and replacement program, total amount not to exceed $2,292.36. 14, a motion to approve pay request number 1 to Michael's Trenchless for the Jacobson Avenue Storm and Sewer Lining Project, total amount not to exceed $381,371.80. 15, a motion to approve pay request number 4 to J.A. Johnson Paving Company for the 2022 MFT Road Program, total amount not to exceed $400,921.32. 16, a motion to amend 2023 Summer Seasonal Pay Plan. 17 is approval of consent items, and I would say as amended.
Is there a motion to approve consent agenda? Trustee Light
Motion to approve the consent agenda as amended.
and Trustee Schmidt.
Second.
Discussion. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
The consent agenda as amended is approved. Old business, there is none. New business. New business, number 1, a motion to waive first reading on new business item 2 to 7. Is there a motion to waive first reading on new business item 2 to 7? Who is the first? Trustee Schmidt,
So moved.
Trustee Light.
Second.
Discussion. None. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
The motion to waive first reading on new business item 2 to 7 is approved. Number 2, an ordinance granting a conditional use to permit a self-storage facility located at 325 East Army Trail Road in the Village of Glendale Heights, Illinois, from May 4, 23, COW, request to waive first reading ordinance 2023-38. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance 2023-38? Trustee Pat,
So moved.
Trustee Light,
Second.
discussion. None, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
The motion to adopt ordinance 2023-38 is approved. Number 3, an ordinance amending and restating the designated depository for funds of the Village of Glendale Heights and to designate certain named municipal officials to act as signatories with respect to a bank depository and other banking transactions and repealing Village of Glendale Heights Ordinance 2021-47. Request to waive first reading Ordinance 2023-39. Is there a motion to adopt Ordinance 2023-39? Trustee Light.
So moved.
Trustee Smith,
Second.
discussion. Yes.
Bill, what's this about?
This is only changing the ordinance to add Bloomingdale Bank and Trust, which the board approved back in April. It's just adding them as a authorized depository.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else? None? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes,
The motion to adopt ordinance 2023-39 is approved. Number 4, an ordinance authorizing the sale of surplus personal property owned by the Village of Glendale Heights, LNI, 2003 Chevrolet cargo van. Request to waive first reading ordinance 2023-40. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance 2023-40? I need a motion. Trustee Pat?
So
and
moved.
Trustee Pojek.
Second.
Discussion. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. Do we usually keep automobiles that long? I mean, this is like, what, 22 years old?
We're trying very hard right now not to. So, but in years past, we've kept vehicles.
That long? Oh, thank you.
Anybody else? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes,
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
The motion to adopt ordinance 2023-40 is approved. Number 5, an ordinance to approve and authorize the execution of a fifth amendment to the services agreement by and between Prescient Development Incorporated, DBA, Prescient Solution, and the Village of Glendale Heights. Request to waive first reading, 2023-40. It should be 40. 41. So it should be over here, 41 too, right? On the top. This is 40. Oh, that's what. Oh, okay. 23-41. I need motion for that. Trustee Pojek and Trustee Schmidt.
Second.
Discussion.
Yes, I have. How much money we are paying for this contract? It's a 201,567.24. That's a lot of money. Whom we negotiate with this? I mean,
So Prescient has been our vendor for our, what's the right term there, Bob?
Yeah, they're our in-house experts, they're the third party.
yeah, I
They're
understand.
in charge of they're in charge of the security of our complete village computer systems.
Yeah, but I mean, we are not a really big environment. And
Oh, actually, we have been, we get hit almost every day.
That's fine. I mean, you know, I'm talking about because they are not providing us the hardware. They are only providing their services. We are talking about the services only here. And I think we are increasing amount $16,797.27 this year. Why? How we, is it, Ms. Darcy, you negotiate that or?
It's not a negotiate. We had an agreement in place, and when we renewed the agreement, they were given a raise based on CPI.
Yeah, that's a too much of money. I'm not gonna be in favor of that, and I think the rest of the board members should look into it because that's a lot of money for paying just for 1 year. How many people do we have from them?
Well, we have a whole team. We have one person here full-time, and we have an entire team at our disposal that comes and assists with all the other infrastructure projects that we have.
How many persons working here?
One.
Just one person. You know, because everything is done remotely and I'm in IT and we can find much better resources than, you know, paying this 200. That's the money they are charging it's really too much. And we need to, look for, Because it doesn't mean if they are just, doing our service, we have to blindly give them and renew every year and give them a 3% raise or 4% raise. It should be going out and it should be, we should ask if we find a better deal, then we should get that, because 200 and 1,567, so it's like 200,000. That's a lot of money, and if you divide that by hourly, it's like, I think they are charging like what, 100 and something, I saw somewhere.
Doug, can you have Bob explain that precedent to the board in detail?
Actually, the agreement between us and Prescient is an outstanding agreement, because we don't just have an outstanding network administrator here who's an expert with security, infrastructure, hardware. The truth is, the village can't afford these professionals that we hire. We can't. We can't afford to buy them at the levels that they come in. So this third-party company, we've had an outstanding relationship with
2016.
since 2016. Our guy is top-notch. If we go out to bid and get another system, yeah, we can certainly get it for cheaper. But I guarantee you they're not going to provide the level of service that we get with Prescient Technologies. So I hear what you're saying. We need to keep them right. But if you look at the technology field, the raises that we get here at the village are not consistent with technology, right? So we cannot afford to keep paying for these assets. As a matter of fact, at some point, you might entirely outsource your IT department. That's just the truth. That's just what we have to do. The expertise involved in securing this village with the internet and all the issues with security and our police force is, we need top-notch people to do that. We're not willing or able to do that in-house. Those salaries exceed everyone here. So we subscribe to a very good system. We have an excellent relationship with Prescient Technologies. And to be honest with you, when I saw the CPI for that, for a 2-year jump, it was an outstanding deal compared to what they're making in the outside.
Have we invited any other vendors? How we know that this is the excellent?
Well, if we invite other vendors to do this, we would have to dispose of the person that we've had a relationship with for all these years and their entire team of engineers that have been involved in every project that we've had, from firewall to actually getting infected with a virus, with an encryption virus from the onset. We really shouldn't be taking a risk in saving a few pennies at the risk of our security for the network.
It's, when you say a few pennies, it's not few pennies. It's quite a bit money.
Well, it's 4% over 2
Yeah.
years. That's,
Again,
that's less than what we got for every year that we have. So I disagree. And if you guys are concerned about this, obviously we can look into other options, but you would be putting us at a disadvantage if we took this off the table right now. We don't have the skill set in-house to do what they do. They bring an entire level of artillery to the table.
You're a CPAC.
Why would we lose a relationship with them if we went out for bid?
Well, because part of that contract is one of my full-time people who we rely on heavily. I rely on him heavily. I really don't know where I would be without that one particular person, nor would it be easy to replace that person.
So when you tell me that, that's really not a good strategy, because if that, it's pretty much telling me that, that company, if let's say tomorrow they say, we are moving out, we have no backup or anything.
We have 3 people in your IT department that run this entire village for everything that we do.
I understand.
We do a really good job.
You have 2 people with 1 outside contract.
Right, with one outside person. So tell me where the room is for backup.
No, so that's what you are telling me, that if they go away, there is no one who will be taking care of our system. Why we,
No, we would have to replace Prescient Solutions with another like company. That's what we would have to do. We have a relationship for 8 years now with Prescient, with one person who has taken care of our network and our databases and our servers and everything else for the past 8 years, 7 years, how long we had the contract. We had one person here doing it. The relationship and the intimate knowledge that he has over our infrastructure from a computer standpoint,
Invaluable.
yeah.
I think, since it's an ongoing business, it's like, computer security, and these are the essential parts. And I think we should be looking at that, hiring someone on a permanent basis who will be with, with the village, and instead of depending on those contractors. It's really, because number one, even before, it's not restricted, or it shouldn't be forbidden that President say, oh, no, you cannot see any outside. We should be looking at, and whatever works best for our village, we should adopt that. It's not something that they should be saying that, oh, if you start looking for something, then we are off from the project. They can be on the project, but, is this renewal for 2 years, I believe?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
So,
per the contract, that's how it was written.
I mean, at least then what we should do is, we should be looking at least for we renew it for 6 months and start inviting the bidding for, and looking for other ideas too, because doesn't mean if they are with us for 6 years or 7 years, we keep paying this amount, because I think that's too much. That's just my personal view.
Trustee Peck, please.
Yes, in all due respect for Mohammed, we usually agree on most things, but on this one, I think that we have to stay with what we have instead of starting to switch over. I mean, it's not a good thing. To me, it's not a good thing. So, I mean, I'd rather stay with what we got. Everybody gets raises.
You can compare this to any super team that's out there. It's the chemistry of the department. What we do with 3 people, I believe, is outstanding. And Jake is a huge part of that. If you want to get rid of LeBron James, you better be prepared to pay for that new player. And the cost isn't just the money that we save per the contract. It's our entire operations and transferring that knowledge. This is like a nuclear submarine. Our system is very unique to us. All of us are intimately involved with it. That's a key person that we really need to think about that. I would offer a suggestion. And if you look at the salaries for IT people in these positions and what we do, you're going to find out real quick how cost-effective a third-party solution like this is.
I just don't want to disrupt the whole can of worms, opening it up, getting new people in here, and just
I appreciate it. And
turning everything upside down. I mean, to me, like I said, I stay with what we have.
I appreciate that. And Mohammed, I totally respect your position and opinion. We should certainly get some more facts to bring back to you guys so you can compare and make a better understanding of what's happening.
Trustee Peck, yes.
Yeah, Mohammed, I agree with you. A lot of the things you always bring up. Good points, excellent points. But in this particular case, we get notification a lot of times in the morning from you guys. This is down, this is down. We can't afford to have that. You got a backup man that downstairs, and I think he's very, very knowledgeable and he's good. And security is excellent. It's very important to this village, to the entire staff, and mainly the police department too, because I know he handles that.
Thank you.
So I think we should just stay, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I think you misunderstood me. What I'm saying is not that I'm not objecting how they work. I think the technology has changed so much, and we should revisit and look for the better opportunities. That's all I am saying. Because if someone is with us for the last 6 years or 7 years, doesn't mean that we have to keep going on, because a lot of things has changed. You may find a better solution in a cheaper price. I'm in IT and I know exactly the IT market. This is my bread and butter, and that's why I'm telling you all these things per my experience. It's up to the board. I'm done with this. Thanks.
Trustee Pojek.
Yeah, you go out looking for other places, they might be cheaper. Are we gonna get the service we're getting now? That's the big question. They know the village. They know what's going on already. I don't wanna make any changes on this.
Well, I think we keep our guy upgraded. I mean, we're just not sitting there for 6 years doing nothing, right? I mean, he's upgrading, whatever new things coming in, he's picking it up, right?
Actually, if this was just about that one employee, this is so much more. It's the whole team.
Well, right.
So, yeah, the numbers that you see brings the entire team on board. They've been in our corner for our firewall, for security, even the most recent developments we've had for Camera Park, intimately involved and has a full working knowledge of our entire network and all the complexities there. That's something that we could certainly look into, but replacing that knowledge, we have a seasoned veteran professional in that field. And yeah, it would not be easy to replace him.
Anybody else? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
No.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes?
Trustee Schroeder.
Yes.
The motion to adopt ordinance 2023-41 is approved. Number 6, an ordinance to waive bid and accept the proposal of Flock Group Incorporated and authorize the execution of a government agency agreement for license plate reader camera, accompanying software and support services. Request to waive first reading ordinance 2023-42. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance 2023-42? Trustee Pat.
So moved.
Trustee Schmidt.
Second.
Discussion. None. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes?
Trustee Schroeder.
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
The motion to adopt ordinance 2023-42 is approved. Number 7, an ordinance approving amendments to the personnel policy manual of the Village of Glendale Heights. Request to waive first reading ordinance 2023-43. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance 2023-43? Trustee Light.
So moved.
Second.
Second, Trustee Pat. Discussion. None. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes?
Trustee Schroeder.
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
The motion to adopt ordinance 2023-43 is approved. Okay. Number 8, a resolution authorizing the execution of non-liquor concession license agreement for 2023 Glendale Heights Fest, Resolution 2023-R-55. Is there a motion to adopt Resolution 2023-R-55? Trustee Schmidt.
So moved.
Trustee Light.
Second.
Discussion.
excuse me, didn't we have somebody from the,
Cheryl.
we have somebody from the,
No.
Audience.
audience? Cheryl? Could she speak now?
It's
or-
up to the board whether she wants to speak public discussion.
Well, I'd like to hear what she has to say before we vote.
Yeah.
All right, I was concerned about, I was reading the ordinance, and what I found a little appalling, well, not appalling, but curious is this Founder's Day Vendor Selection Committee that will tell who can be the food trucks or who can have their food there. Who is this committee and who is in charge of all this?
Mayor, I can take that one. So the Founder's Day Committee put together a number of years ago a group of 3 people that handled the actual taking the money, putting the contracts out and all that. That committee is made up of 3 employees, myself, Jessica from my department, and Jazz.
Okay, and then when will these people be notified?
So
And
they've
how much
already.
longer do they have to
So
wait?
they've already been notified that have been chosen. This is the contract that puts all the information together for them.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
I do have a
Mr. Black,
question.
yes.
Then we have 2 committees? I didn't know that. We have a
So-
committee for summer, for the fest alone?
So this is just a little subcommittee that was set aside to just do the food stuff, because there's a lot of paperwork and things that go out for the food vendors. So this just deals with the food vendors. All that information comes back to the Founder's Day Committee, and we actually have a meeting in June where we meet with the food vendors and the entire village staff and the Founder's Day Committee to go over the rules, regulations for the year.
Okay, how many people do we have on that committee?
Ooh, a lot. Mostly staff. From the public, I believe we have 2. Correct? 2? 2. The rest is staff.
So everybody else is staff? that
Correct. Correct.
Gets all the food vendors. I was in the impression that the food vendors was coming from the committee.
We're a subset of the committee, so it's still coming from the committee, but there's a group of us that work on that specifically.
Well, then they can't negotiate the food vendors, only,
So the food vendors get a letter, people ask to apply to be a food vendor or call and say, hey, we'd like to be a food vendor. We send out that information. They send back their request to be one. We go through those requests to see what space we have and if we have enough space for everybody. This is the first year that we're gonna turn away a few people because we don't have enough space. I believe, Jazz, correct me if I'm wrong, we have 15 tents that will be there, and for the first time, we're doing food trucks, so there will be 6 food trucks.
okay, so what does the committee do?
They just go through and if there are 6 people that want to sell tacos and we have 4 that are returning, we're going to go to the new ones. And if they don't have new items, that's how we're going to take out somebody to make sure that we have what can fit in our area. So we have what we feel is the maximum number of food vendors that will fit within the space that we have allocated.
Okay, what are the jobs at the committee? You say you got 10 or 12 people on the committee? Let's say you have 10.
Sure.
What do they do?
Basically, it's an oversight of the event. So we go through all of the different stuff that goes on for Fest. We talk about fireworks, we talk about security, we talk about everything that goes on for Fest. The Founder's Day Committee has been around for
Yeah,
well
they've been
past
around
my-
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
chair is still the same chair. Paula Sabatino is still the chair of the
I
Founder's Day.
was just under the impression that they went out and inquired about the food vendors coming in.
No, most of the food vendors actually, returners are waiting for us when we put out our letter. We put out a letter to returners in February. And then there are others that we hear from throughout the year that people will create a list and then we send out to them as well.
Okay, all right, thank you, Keith.
You're welcome.
Keith, I have a quick question. in this fest, we will be paying for the concerts, correct? Do you know how much we are paying this year?
We approved it at the last meeting, 30?
30 and last year, how much we paid?
I mean, it went up a little, I believe, but about the same.
Same, okay.
Anybody else? None, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
The motion to adopt ordinance 2023-R-55 is approved. Number 9, a resolution approving and ratifying the execution of a master power supply agreement to provide full requirement electricity supply and related services for the village of Glendale Heights Electric Aggregation Program, RES 2023-R-57, moved from consent agenda. Is there a motion to adopt resolution 2023-R-57? Trustee Pat.
So moved.
Trustee Pojek.
Second.
Discussion. Yes.
I ask that this be removed from the consent agenda because in reading it, I didn't see any sort of indication as to what the charges would be under the aggregation program. Mr. Flint has consented to have a presentation made this evening. So I would ask Mr. Flint to proceed with that.
Dave Hoover, Dave's with NIMEC, he's our aggregator. He is gonna present to you what aggregation is, and he will talk to you about the ComEd rate and our rate and how the two are the same as the ComEd rate. David?
Thank you. My name is David Hoover. I'm with NIMEC. Let me do a very brief commercial about NIMEC. In other words, who am I and how we've been working with the village since 2008. We work with 125 other Northern Illinois municipalities. And one of the main things we do is we help you purchase electricity for your village facilities, for your water treatment plant, for your street, for your lift stations, and for your ball fields. We've been doing that, again, since 2008. Let's see. We also work with you on municipal aggregation. And what is municipal aggregation? Well, when the state deregulated electricity in 2011, all the brokers and agents and consultants like myself went out after commercial entities. The state realized that the residents were basically being left behind as no one was calling on residents individually, and there were savings to be achieved. The state amended the deregulation legislation into something called municipal aggregation, which allows the municipality to be the purchasing agent for the residents' home electric bills. So the residents have passed a resolution authorizing you to run such a program, and your mandate is to see if you can find more favorable electric rates and terms for your residents. We've been running a program since 2012, and we're talking now about renewing that. What we're talking about particularly in this program is a program where the rates that we have in with our supplier match exactly the ComEd rates every month. So there are no savings, there's no additional cost to the residents. If you suspended the program, the residents would pay exactly the same as they would pay with this program. So why do we do it? We do it because we can, our suppliers we can work with can purchase 5% of all the energy consumed by the residents in Glendale Heights from renewable sources. And then that puts you in the EPA. EPA has a rating and a classification for green communities, and the 5% would authorize you to be part of that program. And you get highway signs, and then they update those periodically. So that's what we have before us tonight. We have checked to see if we can find rates that are lower than the ComEd rate. Unfortunately, for the program's sake, the ComEd dropped their rates considerably starting next month. They're dropping from 9.7 cents to 7.0 cents, 7.1 cents. And so that's great for everybody, and everybody will enjoy that, just that our suppliers aren't able to come in underneath that. So this is the program that we're proposing. Again, there's no cost to the residents, there's no cost to the municipality, but we're able to achieve purchasing of 5% of the total load from renewable sources. Let me just see what questions you have.
Yes, Pat.
Okay, do we have to have a percentage of the residents on this program to get that rate?
You do not. Our suppliers have been running these programs. We're currently running about 50 of these programs. Suppliers know that with this program that they'll have sufficient participation. The way the program works, to be clear, is if you authorize it, the supplier will enroll everybody, and if they don't want to participate for any reason, they can opt out of the program.
Okay, thank you.
So,
Trustee Smith, please.
Okay, suppose, as been reported on the news, ComEd gets a rate increase. Do you go looking for other suppliers at a lower rate, or will you just follow ComEd?
The program is for a year. We have looked for those suppliers for lower rates. So you would commit for a year. We can't leave the program and in the middle of the program. But if I can clarify something, ComEd, hang in there with me, ComEd is not in the power business. ComEd is only in the wires and the delivery business. Everybody uses ComEd. When ComEd has a rate increase, everybody pays that rate increase. That does not have anything to do with the power rate. The power rate is the 7 cents, and that's in place for a year. And so that will not change during that year, and our supplier will match that. How it'll fluctuate from 6.6 to 7.6 cents over the next year, and our supplier will match whatever the ComEd rate is each month.
Next, Trustee. Yes, go ahead.
so if we approve and let's say the resident doesn't want to go with that, do they have this choice or? Okay, so what's our approval means? Like what is?
So that'll, what we're asking you tonight is to accept this program and to run the program. You all will enter into an agreement with our supplier to manage this program so that they will go out and purchase the 5% of the energy, green energy.
Okay, but you said that the ComEd rate goes down.
The ComEd rate will fluctuate each month over the next year from between 6.6 and 7.6 cents. It changes monthly.
Okay, and what you are offering?
Our program will match that exactly. So as the ComEd rate changes, we change. As the ComEd rate drops, we drop. It's identical. There's no financial impact to the residents participating in this. They'll pay exactly the same with our program as if you didn't have a program and they were all at ComEd.
So what's the benefit?
The benefit is that we're able to get 5% green energy. If you didn't run the program, you wouldn't get that green energy.
And where this green energy is coming from?
It is, so the supplier purchases these, they're primarily from wind fields in the Midwest.
Okay, so I believe your interest, like you probably, whatever the money you make is through that green energy.
So I'm a broker.
Yeah.
And our fees, along with supplier fees, are all embedded in this cost. There's no, you don't pay us, residents don't pay us. The supplier pays us to originate the program.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to understand. Nothing is free in America, so
Well,
we're
Well, here you go. Not only free, but we can give, well, it's free plus 5% green energy.
Trustee Pojek.
Dave, let's say XYZ company comes knocking on my door and they want to change it, give us our electric. Will their rates be the same as ComEd's?
If a third-party electric supplier knocks on your doors, they can sell that power for anything they want to sell that power, anything that you'll agree to them. I have not seen anybody in the last several years offer anything lower than the ComEd rate.
All right, thank you.
Anybody else? Yes, Trustee Light.
Opt-out that can be done at any point in time, so it's not like you have to opt out immediately, you can stay
You
with
can
the
opt out
program.
anytime, for any reason, at no charge.
Okay, thank you.
I have one question. You mentioned 9.7 cent, down 7.1 cent. What is this figure,
I'm sorry, what's?
You mentioned
Yep.
9.7 is coming down to
7.1,
7.1.
yes, that's the ComEd residential rate.
Okay, those are coming down now?
It is, yeah,
Oh.
something's coming down for once.
news.
It'll take effect next month.
Okay.
Well, you'll see it, it'll start next month, so you'll see it in your bills in July, the bills you receive in July. Yeah, it's
Good
coming
news.
down.
Anybody else?
So just so you know, we're in this program now. This is a renewal.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Anybody else? None. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes?
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
The motion to adopt resolution 2023-R-57 is approved. Public discussion of agenda items. We go on to public discussion on agenda items. Is there anyone in the public that would like to address this board? Anybody from public? Yes, ma'am.
Kim Darlin, Greenbrier. I have 3 questions. I hope I have 5 minutes here. The first one is on the sidewalks. I noticed when I walk through my neighborhood, we've got X's on the sidewalks. I'm assuming those chunks are coming out, is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, who decided that those chunks are coming out?
Our assistant village engineer has walked each street and looked at the condition of the sidewalks.
Okay, can I make a recommendation that they go back to Coventry Circle and re-walk that area?
Okay?
Thank you. The flock cameras, this one is for you, Chief Pappas. Yep. We have a flock camera in our neighborhood. I'm assuming you're trying to redo that agreement you have with them, is that what this is?
We added more cameras. So this year, we added additional 15 cameras to it. And since we entered into that agreement, we were able to save about $67,000 to $70,000 by having 25 cameras around town.
Okay, so this is just adding to that.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Mr. Mike? You don't have your transcript today? Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn? Mayor Coca, there is executive session, there is none. Is there a motion to adopt, adjourn? Any motion, Trustee Schmidt?
Motion to adjourn.
Trustee Light?
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes?
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
This meeting is adjourned. Trustee Pojek, you have,
Easy there, Chester.
wake
I'd
up.
like to open this Village of Glendale Heights
Gotta wait till the end of the count.
Public Committee of the Whole meeting for agenda on Thursday, May 18, 2023. Anybody from the public want to make a comment
On an agenda, on a.
on agenda item?
A committee recommendation
Okay.
first.
We'll have it again for any issue, but right now it's just gonna be for the agenda item.
Doug, I didn't get the update on all of this.
Okay.
All right, committee recommendations. Number 1, Plan Commission recommendation A recommendation to approve a text amendment to various sections in Title 11 zoning and Title 12 subdivision regulations of the Village of Glendale Heights Municipal Code as follows. 1, combine the zoning administrator's oversight authority with the Plan Commission to create a new board called the Planning and Zoning Commission. 2, eliminate the C4 Regional Commercial District in its entirety. 3, revise the home occupation standards. 4, create new standards for vacation rentals. 5, create new standards for food trucks. 6, revise the accessory uses and structures standards. 7, revise the presidential driveway standards. 8, update the commercial use tables to allow massage and body modification establishments as a conditional use. Trustee Schmidt.
Move that we move this to the board with a recommendation to concur.
Trustee Light.
Second.
All in favor?
Discussion.
Oh, discussion? Pat?
Good evening, Board of Trustees. I can jump in here if it's all right.
Sure.
Trustee Meritato. So it's best is actually if we discuss items 1 and 2 together, I think, because they're kind of part and parcel with each other. So item 1 are the effective operational recommendations to how we're going to change how we operate through the text amendments. And item 2 is the incidental and housekeeping items. So practically, the changes that are occurring in 1 are underpinned or need to be cleaned up with item 2. So to save everybody from reading through this incredibly long title, I'll just give a quick overview. So you may recall that these ordinance text amendments went to the Ordinance Committee on March 14th. It was recommended by the committee with amendment. Staff made those amendments. It then went to Plan Commission on April 25th. The Plan Commission had very minor comments and also recommended it be brought forward to this Committee of the Whole. And then finally, if there are any questions, we'd like to address them. But finally, I'd like to recognize Deputy Director Matt Dabrowski sitting behind me. He did a fantastic job as the architect of these changes and is spearheading the department's efforts for cleaning up and modernizing the code. So I'll go ahead and open up to any questions, but I think many of you are familiar with these changes we've made.
Mike, food trucks. I mean, why is so much money for permits for a year? What if somebody is selling food and he only comes in like maybe twice a month? I mean, why does he have to buy a whole permit for the whole year?
If it's all right by you, I'd actually like to ask Deputy Director Dabrowski to step up. I think he can probably provide a more articulate response based upon his research.
Thank you. Good question. The way we structured the food truck ordinance is there's 2 types of food truck approvals and licensing requirements. We have the temporary use permitting process. So if you have a food truck that just wants to, go to a site, maybe one day, or our code allows up to 30 consecutive days, 60 days in a calendar year, the fee would be $150. Then you have the more annual or more permanent food truck standard, and those can go to the site, stay there year-round. Granted, they have to, break down the shop, leave, then come back in the morning, reset up. That particular type of food truck permit or license would be $500.
Matt, while you're up there, what about those ice cream trucks that patrol the neighborhood? How do you regulate them?
So we already have those
Yeah.
licensed,
We
inspect them annually.
Do you really?
Yes.
They've been regulated for decades.
Does anybody check on them during the,
Yeah, all the time.
do you? Okay.
Okay, thank you, Matt.
You bet.
Yes.
Mike?
I had a quick question on the food trucks. Sorry, Matt.
That's okay.
I'm gonna make you run back and forth for a while. With the food trucks, the permitting, as you say, the year-long, You said break down and remove every single day, every night, so they're not gonna set up a trailer in the middle of Menards and just stay there.
Correct. So when they come in, as part of the licensing process, we have a pretty extensive list of submittal requirements that they would have to provide us with. We would review it like any other business license. As part of that process, we'll look as to where they're positioning their food truck operation on the property so that it doesn't obstruct any vehicular flow or access, doesn't create any life safety issues. And then by 9 o'clock, which we have restricted hours from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., 9 o'clock, they have to shut down, start the breakdown, be out by 10, and then they can arrive back to the site by 6 a.m. to set things up so that they can open up again at 7 a.m.
Do we look at locations where they're going so they're not competing with existing restaurants or something like that? So we don't put them in a McDonald's parking lot, let's just say?
We do. As part of the ordinance, we've got several provisions in there. One, we only allow one food truck per location. Two, we require that the food truck has to be at least 150 feet from an inline brick and mortar restaurant establishment. And three, we require that the food truck vendor or operator get some sort of lease agreement from the actual property owner. And it's up to the property owner to decide which food truck vendor he will sign or enter into a lease agreement with.
Excellent, thank you.
And we also don't want a like food truck food competing with a brick and mortar in the same area.
That's, I wanted to make sure, that's all.
And one thing I did fail to mention, we did incorporate some level of flexibility within the ordinance. So if that shopping center wants to have like an event or a festival, they could then, under the temporary use requirements, allow for multiple food trucks. And we also have a provision that if the restaurant signs off on allowing a little bit closer proximity of the food truck to its doors, we would allow that as well.
Awesome, all right, thank you.
One more question. How about if it's on private property?
Well, the one thing about zoning, everything in the zoning ordinance pertains to private property. So all these standards are restricted or limited to private property.
Yeah, if it's not private, it's ours, for the most part.
Oh, no, I'm saying if somebody has private property and they want a food truck, is that allowed?
It has to be in a commercial district. It can't be within a residential district.
Or on the public way.
Commercial,
Correct.
but that's okay though.
That's okay.
If it meets the standards set forth in the code about distance and type and not competing with like-type businesses, right? But not private landowners for commercial districts just can't bring a food truck in every day to sit there for 12 hours without a lease with the landowner and paying the permit for us.
Because I've always seen one parked in the shopping center, not ours, in Bloomingdale. And the guy's right he's in the shopping center, but right off the street and.
Well, if he's at Stratford, he needs to be there.
No, it wasn't Stratford.
Yeah, right now, many municipalities, their codes are silent. They don't regulate, or their codes are very gray and they're unsure as to whether or not they do or don't. We wanted to take a more proactive approach, establish fair but protective standards that would allow the food vendors to operate while at the same time making sure that, we protect the public health, safety, and welfare.
Yeah, I was just curious because that's becoming a big business now.
Correct, it is.
Matt, I have a question for you. Ice cream trucks, are they allowed to go to Camera Park and sell ice cream? That's private property, isn't it, or?
No, it's our property.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Can they come in there?
Yes.
No
If they're
problem?
permitted.
With our permission.
Yeah, they have to have a permit, right? And they have to meet all the requirements of that permit, which is we don't allow the sound amplification the way that most of them do. They have to be in uniform. They have to be looking kind of like the Good Humor Man, right?
Oh.
But it has to have our inspection sticker on it, or our shouldn't say inspection sticker. It's got to have our permit with them, and they can be in the village if they're permitted. And they also ice cream vendors have to pass a background check through the police department.
Okay, because of the kids. All right, thank you. Anybody else? Oh, my gosh. Mike?
Oh, real quick, I don't want to talk about food trucks or anything like that.
Ice
Real
cream.
quick, the revise on the, can you clarify a little bit with the residential driveway standards, what we're actually going after now?
Certainly. Really, the main focus on the driveways was to simplify it. The language that's in the code right now, you really need a zoning professional or an attorney to read through it to understand what it's actually trying to accomplish. That's point one. Point two, we took a look at driveways from the perspective of the different types of housing stock that we have. So for instance, the standards for a one-car garage are different than the standards for a two-car garage, yet the current zoning ordinance doesn't really make a distinction. Being that the one-car garage lots are typically much more narrower, we don't want a driveway cross-section that eats up the majority of the frontage. So for one-car, single-family, and duplexes, the maximum width is 18 feet. And to be quite frank with you, we haven't changed our ordinance other than the fact that we've expanded it to include single-family, because right now the code only allows duplexes for 18 feet. And then for two-car garage, we allow up to 24 feet. And then we did include a provision for three-car garage, which right now the code is silent. So it doesn't specify whether you can or cannot have a three-car garage. So we wanted to be clear. And for three-car garages, we are allowing up to 27 feet. The other distinctions or proposals that we're making are we're requiring a 3-foot setback from the side property line. And the purpose behind that is we need to establish some sort of buffer or green space between the driveway and the property line for two reasons. One, we want to make sure that we can reestablish some sort of green swale from a stormwater management standpoint. And two, we want to make sure that we don't have people paving all the way up to their property line, then exiting their car onto their neighbor's property, which in a sense is trespassing. So we wanted to create that sort of separation. The last major change that we made was we are allowing driveways to be expanded in front of the house. So right now we have a prohibition for expanding the driveway towards the house side in single family, but we allow it in duplexes. So we felt that if we're going to allow it in the duplex communities, we should allow it in the single family communities, especially since a lot of our housing stock was built at a time when the standards were significantly different, when households were one vehicle per household. And now we've got multi-generational living. We've got households that have 2, sometimes up to 4 vehicles. So we had to take it from a give and take approach to allow some flexibility in order to increase the market value of the homes as well as the operational value of the homes as well.
All right, part of my question being is, I've gone through the driveway thing with myself and I got it redone. A driveway leading to nowhere, as it was once told to me, is unacceptable and you couldn't have that. Now we're accepting driveways.
You can have a driveway leading to nowhere under the current code right now.
Maybe I was just misinformed, but I have a driveway that I had to actually, when I got repaved, I had to move it and actually curve it over so that it wasn't leading to nowhere. It was just kind of directing you to a different path instead of up to the front of the home. My question is, I got a lot of houses that, like you said, they have a driveway that kind of leads to nowhere, comes up to the front of their home. Does it need a buffer in between that? Does it need pylons or,
We're not requiring that they install any vehicle protection impact items such as bollards. That takes away from the residential character, and the reality is it's your home. And you should have a good comprehension as to how to navigate your driveway on your own home.
I agree 100%. I have one house down the street that actually has those ballards put in front of it, and for what reason, I don't understand. And I wasn't too sure, and I know I myself had to move my driveway, even after having discussions, because it led to nowhere. So it basically removes one extra parking spot. How far are we allowing the driveways to go in front of the homes?
Well, typically, when you have a standard single-family lot within the village is roughly 65 feet in width.
Okay.
So if you're allowing for a 24-foot wide driveway, you're looking at about a third or 33% of the frontage that would be your driveway.
And this would be for a two-car garage?
That would be for a two-car.
In back of the house?
Well, if you have a detached garage that's in the back of the house rather than an attached garage, the attached garage, we would allow up to 24 feet. The detached garage, you have to maintain the throughway from the curb all the way up to the garage. Then you can widen it up once you're beyond the house.
So in front of the house?
Front of the house, you maintain 9 feet until you get behind the house, and then it widens up.
Okay, see, that's where some of the changes I'm looking at, because a lot of houses have that behind it. Like I have a wider driveway in the front, and that throughway goes all the way through the garage. It just widens also in back there.
Correct.
Always been that way, and that's where I was questioning, is people that have a garage in back, will they be able to widen it in the front, or it's only in the back of the lot?
It's only in the back.
All right. And then the driveway adjacent to, I do have one particular family that their driveways are actually touching. There is no green space. This won't affect them in any way. They're not going to have any problems with it.
No, I mean, right now, all the new standards that we're proposing, should the board adopt these proposed changes, it doesn't require that the property owners then implement those changes. They would just become non-conforming, and then at such time when they come in for permits and have to replace the driveway, and when we say replace, it doesn't necessarily mean seal coat. It means when you go down to the sub-base and replace the structural components of it, then at that point you have to comply with code.
Yeah,
Well,
it will not be possible.
No,
in that
in the
particular-
houses you're talking about,
Yes.
it's not possible to comply.
Yeah, and I just
So-
make sure there's no issues,
Yeah.
because there's enough issues there to begin with. I don't need.
Well, we also built in, as far as the driveways, for the narrower lots with the detached garage in the back and the narrower setbacks on the side. And if you're under 12 feet, we're going to allow you to pave up to the property line, because there's no other way we can get the driveway back there.
That's correct. That's
So-
what I'm just making sure we're not going to have any problems there.
To jump in here momentarily, I just want to reassure the board that the purpose of these revisions with respect to the driveway is to be more permissive.
Okay.
Right? So, with respect to your example, you have a two-car garage that's 20 feet wide. We're not intending to scrutinize you over the additional 4 feet that is eligible to you. We'll allow you to flare it or do however you, whatever geometry makes sense that doesn't impose on any of the other zoning restrictions. So we are trying to be more permissive and accommodate the homes and the single-family homes that have a need for greater parking.
That's what I wanted to double check.
And certainly before, this goes to ordinance, we can just tweak it based on the conversations that we're having here so that everything is clear, concise, and to the point.
Okay.
Bill?
Okay, back to food trucks. I've got a graduation party going. I want to park a food truck in front of my house for my guests. Is a temporary usage like that permitted?
No, because if you're parking it in front of your house, that's in the public right-of-way. So that zoning doesn't go beyond the boundaries of the property line. So beyond that, we don't have a code for that. We would have to modify a different provision of the ordinance to accommodate that type of scenario.
Is there any provision made for temporary application for a, like a one-day permit type of thing?
Again, with temporary use permits, it's all on private property. The parkway is, intended to be free and clear of,
If they parked it in their driveway?
Well, that's different then. Then at that point, if it's on private property, then yes, you can get the temporary use. But if you're in the public right of way, you can't.
But that's a fair question that we need to address in the code and allow probably for someone who wants to have a block party, if you will, to have a food truck parked for a block party, right, in the roadway.
Right.
So I think that's an amendment we need to bring back to the board.
Sure.
With this to allow for that.
Okay.
Usually with the block party, Doug, don't you block off the whole entire street, both ends, or whatever?
Sure,
section?
sure, but our code wouldn't allow for you to bring a food truck in.
Right. Still?
No.
You won't allow that? Wow.
Correct.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure this is all clear. If somebody's having a birthday party, they park on the driveway, do they still have to buy that $100 permit to,
It would be a temporary use.
okay, so you still would have to spend $100 for a one-day deal?
$150 is what the cost.
$150 for one day?
Correct.
Go to Portillo's.
Do you want to make an amendment to a single use,
I
one
mean-
day, make
I
it
mean-
$50?
I mean, if somebody's having a birthday party or a graduation party, because like I said, these food trucks are a big deal now. And they park on the driveway, I mean, we're gonna charge the person $150 for a one-day event.
Or exempt residential districts.
We could do that. And keep in mind, right now, you know, the whole zoning ordinance ultimately has to be rewritten. Our focus right now was to focus it on the phase one, where we're seeing, you know, the higher demand for this type of use or this type of activity, which is generally within the commercial districts. So certainly, phase two, we can take a look at the temporary use permitting process of the ordinance, as well as other sections. That's going to be a phase two. We could bump that up and work on something more immediate.
Did we check with any other villages and see what they do with the, because I heard that some of them got they buy a permit for a year, it's $50 or something for a year?
We modeled ours off of,
Thank you for serving us.
we did take a look at a number of different communities. We modeled ours off of the Village of Bolingbrook. Bolingbrook has a pretty good ordinance, and that's what we modeled off of ours.
Okay.
But we could look at exempting residential, we could lower the fee for a, one-day food permit, right, for a special occasion type thing, to whatever normal permitting is, $25 or whatever it is.
You have to go back to the ordinance committee for that?
No,
or between
we can
you
bring
and
this,
that?
no, that's the whole purpose of this meeting, is that we can bring this forward to you with these changes.
Okay.
Correct, because a part of this proposal right now is an amendment to the temporary use section to specifically list food trucks. So we can expand upon that and incorporate whatever modifications that you're looking for us to make.
Well, after you and Mike get your act together, can you have copies sent to the trustees so we can
Sure.
Hey, Mike.
get it updated?
Will do.
Okay.
All right, anybody else?
Thanks, Matt. I'm done.
Thanks, Matt.
Nobody else? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder. President Coker?
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Motion passes. Okay, the next one, number 2, a recommendation by Community Development to approve text amendment to Title II, Boards and Commissions, Title IV, Business Licenses and License Regulations, and Title 10, Building Regulations for the Glendale Heights Municipal Code. Need a motion?
Yes.
Pat,
Motion to move it to the board
Second.
with a recommendation?
with a recommendation to.
As mentioned, this is just housekeeping.
Oh, okay.
Oh, housekeeping, all right. Is there a discussion? No discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Roll call? Or voice vote? Voice
We
vote?
already
Do we have a first and a second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any discussion, if there's any discussion.
I said discussion before.
And then a roll call.
Yeah.
Roll call.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder.
Yes.
President Coker?
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Next item is discussion. Anybody from the board?
Yes. I got
Pat?
stuff to add.
No, I don't have anything
What?
tonight.
I got stuff to add. Can I do it?
Yes.
Thank you. You're all right. Real quick, I
Make
just.
it quick.
Make it quick. I got 5 minutes, okay? We have an upcoming on May 24th on the southeast corner of Brandon and Bloomingdale Road is the Ullman Pool and the association pool there. We have a really great program coming up, which is the Neighborhood Watch Program. I'd like to invite everyone out May 24th at 7:30 to the Ullman Pool House for the Community Watch. It's for all of us. It may have specific meaning to people in that neighborhood or that area. It'll help them. You get some crime stats. You get to find out what's going on. You get a real good outlook on what the police are doing for you, your community, and the area. So on the 24th of May, which is a Wednesday at 7:30, please, I'm inviting you all out for the Neighborhood Watch Program that we have. And that
That's
should.
removing police department, go from various sections in the city, in the village, for the neighborhood watch. The last one was at, library, I believe, right?
Library.
This next one's at Ullman. No, police department sends out notification on this.
Yep.
All right, that's all you had, Mike?
That's it.
Good. Public comment. Anybody from the public want to make a comment? Please come up, state your name.
Hi, excuse me. Hi, I'm Beverly Pappas, and I'm going to read because I'm not very good at doing all this stuff. So, I am here to talk about baseball. I watched children as they first did t-ball, and they weren't very good, but then they soon learned how to use a bat and a glove to catch those balls. Sometimes they would strike out and then make a line drive, and 2 runs would come in. Sometimes the team would win, and sometimes they would lose. But each team would stand and shake hands after a game and show respect. Children learn from winning and losing and about respect. I would like to see our board and the mayor to be like a baseball team. You win some, you lose some, but you always have respect. I want to see more children in baseball. And with the economy, some parents just can't afford the fees and even the bat and the glove. These children are our future and will learn about wins and losses and respect. So I have written a check for $1,000 to be used for the children who need a glove for equipment that needs some fixing. So here's to the team and make the village proud. Go team.
Thank you, Bev.
Thanks, Bev. And staying up here. So if you drive past Fullerton and Ardmore any day, you see Bev standing out there as a crossing guard. How many years?
I'm too old, I don't remember.
Nobody knows more about the kids than Bev does. And I will gladly accept this check, right? And we will start a scholarship at next recruitment season and hopefully sponsor 10 to 12 kids who can't afford to play baseball right now, or any other sport for that matter. But we'll get 10 to 12 kids as a sponsorship, and hopefully more people will donate, and we get more community involvement to really enrich our programs to reach more kids who are maybe not as privileged that they can't pay to play. And this will go a long way to funding, hopefully, a whole team. So thank you very much. Much appreciated. Thank you for your community.
Hey, Bev. Bev, can I just say how proud I am to have you as one of my residents? I mean, you're an awesome pillar in the community. The people love you, they respect you, and you take care of our kids so well going back and forth to school. Even from little gifts on, for Easter and stuff like that, you take care of them. I know your money will go very far, and I hope to see other companies and other people do the same that you just did. Donate their time, donate their effort to a baseball program for our kids. I've been saying I want to see some T-ball come in, pay. Maybe we can work together and we can work on getting and building this together. You know, I'll help you out, whatever it takes. But thank you very much.
Okay, Bev, thank you. It was a very nice gesture on your part. Thank you very much. Anybody else in the audience?
You wanna move? You wanna move on the west side of town? Just come by me.
No, she's mine, Pat. Sorry. Please state your name.
Michael Ontiveros, Glendale Heights. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Mike?
Okay, well, anyway, I don't want to get you back up here, Matt, but I would like to get that moving forward about the resolution on the pricing for those temporary permits, because people are graduating as we speak, and there's going to be a lot of parties coming up in June. So if we delay this, past the summer, then we're not going to be able to take advantage of it for a lot of people. So that would be great if we can get that going. The other question that I have for you, just for a definition, what is number 8? Update the commercial use tables to allow massage and body modification establishments as conditional use. Thanks.
All right, so what we're looking to do is modify the conditional use, create a little bit more flexibility, allow massage therapy, body modification as conditional uses within the C2, C3 district. Body modification is just it's a more contemporary terminology used for tattoos, body piercing, that sort of thing.
Okay. And then lastly, I attended the Property Enhancement Committee meeting last month, and I know they're telling me I need to fill out an application to participate and be on that board, but I feel that as a resident who's volunteering their precious time to help our community, that I should be given serious consideration to being part of that board. You have a vacancy, as I understand. There was a recommendation for me to be placed on that board by Mohammed Siddiqui. Obviously, Mr. Schmidt, he took note of that and realized the fact that there is an opening. So I would ask that the board and the mayor seriously consider my offer in taking my expertise in construction, management, marketing skills. I would be a valuable asset in any department that I could help you with. So please get together, make the decision. I'd like to be able to assist sooner than later.
I think, Mike, you have to send a letter to the board and to Mr. Coker.
No, he's
That's
on the
all.
record, right? It's on the record from trustee Siddiqui. I met with the mayor earlier this week about appointments, because there's many committees that need membership filled. So we're starting that discussion to get these commissions filled, and the commissions that are up for reappointments, get those reappointments up, because there's at the 2-year mark on one of them.
I had to change it. We used to send letters. We had to write letters all the time. Now things have changed or what?
Well, I understand, but the fact that we don't have anybody in that position, this individual has not shown up for 2 years?
Yeah. Oh, I know that.
So the vacancy is long overdue to be filled, and again, I'm offering my services. I'm filling out an application for something I'm not getting paid.
Yep. Mr. Chairman, that's exactly what I am going to add, because it's not an additional, it's basically there is a resident who's not showing up to our committees for the last 2 years.
I've
So
been questioning that.
Mr. Ontiveros will be a great addition because of his experience and all that. And that's why I make the recommendation to Chairman Schmidt.
What do we have to wait for? I mean, if this gentleman wants to be on this committee, why can't we just appoint him?
The mayor needs to make all the appointments.
All right.
Mr. Kokar, do you want to make that decision?
Yeah, you can email me, and then I will talk with Mr. Flint, We will discuss, because a lot of people want to come. Yes.
Okay, I'll put my salary requirements
Yeah,
on that
name,
application
he
as well.
knows, you don't even have to send, But I cannot decide right now,
Anything else,
These are my boss, 6 boss. They can do whatever they want, but I will talk with Mr. Flint, talk with you.
Okay, sounds wonderful.
Thank you, Mike. Anybody else? Please state your name, please.
Kim Darlin, 1053 Greenbrier. Can somebody just clarify, because I obviously have the first graduation party and I have a taco truck coming, and do I need to pull it into my driveway?
You're fine.
Thank you.
The executive decision.
Hey, what's that?
All right, anybody else?
We have,
Can I have a motion to
wait, wait,
adjourn?
Just,
Oh.
we have one more question via Zoom from Obaid Hakla.
From who?
Obaid Hakla.
Yeah?
I want to ask about if residents can rent out the cricket fields from the village as a resident, since it is public property.
No.
Okay.
There's been voted on, there's no cricket this year, 2023 at all. Thank you. Anybody else? Need a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion, we're adjourned.